It begins quieter than you imagined. Not with fire. Not with thunder. Not with any grand cosmic explosion. It begins with a silence that presses against your chest. A silence that feels alive. A silence that seems to be watching you. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Because October 5th and 6th, 2025 are not just days you flip past on a calendar. They are a mirror. They are a test. And they are a lock. These are the 48 hours where the universe will place you under its most subtle yet powerful examination. No textbook will prepare you. No headline will announce it. No crowd will witness it. It will be you, your choices, and the silence. The skies are shifting. The last quarter moon in Cancer rises, pressing against the emotional heart. At the same time, Pluto, planet of death and rebirth, stirs, grinding its gears as it prepares to change direction. A clash of endings and beginnings. A collision between the heart and the underworld. This is no coincidence. It was written into the blueprint of time. And you are alive to stand inside it. Here is the truth most will not tell you. Growth is never dignified. It is not clean, not graceful, not polished. It is messy. It is awkward. It makes you eat your own words. And that is why these 2 days are so powerful. Because the test arriving is not about how perfect you look. It is about whether you can surrender when surrender feels ugly. When that strange pull rises in your chest. The urge to act differently, to break routine, to step into the unknown. Will you shame yourself back into the old box? Or will you let yourself taste freedom? Even if it looks nothing like what you thought your spiritual path should be? The universe does not ask this question with words. It asks with urges. It asks with sudden impulses that make no sense. It asks with strange synchronicities that tug at your spirit. And most people, they ignore it. They silence it. They scroll it away. But not you. Not now. Not in these 2 days. Because these 48 hours are the hinge. The doorway. The lock-in point of an era. Listen carefully. On October 5th, the tension begins. Your body feels restless. Your chest feels heavier than usual. Sleep feels thin, broken, interrupted by whispers you cannot name. This is the moon pulling on the tides of your soul. This is Pluto rattling the foundations of your old patterns. And the test begins. Do not expect lightning in the sky. Do not wait for a trumpet blast. Do not demand proof. The chosen ones never get proof first. They move by the unseen. They feel the invisible and act before the visible appears. That is why they are chosen. That is why they walk different paths. Here's the danger. Most people will call it nothing. They will shrug it off. They will convince themselves it was just another day. But it wasn't. It isn't. It never will be. Because in these 2 days, your blueprint is being rearranged. Timelines are splitting. Contracts are being signed without ink. Seeds are being buried in silence. And once the soil closes over them, there is no going back. Think of the seed. The most important day in its life is not the day it breaks through the soil. It is the day it is planted. Silent. Hidden. Buried. That is what these hours are. The planting of futures. The burial of old cycles. The unseen hand shifting your destiny. The question is simple but eternal. Will you resist? Or will you let yourself be rearranged? Because if you resist, the weight will crush you. But if you surrender, the weight will lift. Compassion will rise where judgment once lived. Freedom will replace the need to control others. Your spirit will become magnetic, unshakable, alive. Chosen one, don't miss this. Don't let silence trick you. Don't let the absence of fireworks make you think nothing happened. The most powerful doors in the universe never slam open. They click. Softly. Silently. And if you're not awake, you'll walk right past them. October 5th and 6th are not only about you. They are about the collective. When a chosen one locks into destiny, entire communities shift without knowing why. Families feel lighter without explanation. Strangers find hope without knowing the source. Your alignment ripples outward. Your yes alters generations. This is why these hours feel heavier. Why the stakes feel higher. Why you may feel watched. Because you are. Not by punishment. Not by judgment. but by your own future self. The you who already knows what you were born to become. The you who is waiting for you to choose. And here is the weight of it. These 48 hours are permanent. They will not pass and vanish like smoke. They settle. They lock in. The contracts signed in silence will echo for years. The decisions made in private will ripple across generations. And the seeds planted now will one day split the ground with unstoppable force. That is why October 5th and 6th matter. That is why the chosen cannot sleep through them. The lock-in is already happening. The test is already here. The mirror is already in front of you. The only question that remains is this. Will you see it? Or will you walk past the doorway, never knowing it was open all along? The greatest shifts never arrive with noise. They don't announce themselves with lightning in the sky. They don't declare themselves with earthquakes beneath your feet. They arrive quietly. So quietly that only the awake can hear them. That is what October 5th and 6th are. The quietest yet loudest doorway you will ever stand before. Here is the final test of these 2 days. It isn't the strange urges that came. It isn't the synchronicities you couldn't explain. It isn't even the emotional storm the moon stirred inside you. It is the silence after. Because on October 6th, most people will shrug. They'll say, well, nothing happened. They'll scroll through their phones. They'll eat their breakfast. They'll drive to work. And they'll miss it. They'll convince themselves it was an ordinary weekend. Just another tick of the clock. Just another fading date on the calendar. But you will know. You will feel. Because chosen ones are trained to sense the invisible. This was never about fireworks. This was never about a headline-screaming cosmic event. This was about the blueprint beneath your life being rewritten. The unseen always reshapes the scene before the scene can catch up. It's like the seed. The day it is buried is the most important day of its life. Not the day it rises through the soil. Not the day it blooms into a flower. But the day it is pushed into darkness, silent, hidden. That is October 5th and 6th. The burial of old patterns. The planting of new timelines. The silent signing of contracts between your soul and destiny. The soil looked still. But everything underneath it was alive. This is why so many will miss it. Because they've been conditioned to only believe change when it is loud. When it is dramatic. When it is undeniable. But the most powerful doorways in the universe open in silence. And only those awake enough to listen can walk through them. This is the separation. Not between chosen and unchosen as a title. Not between special and ordinary. But between those who are awake enough to sense when the invisible shifts, and those who are still waiting for a headline to tell them it's real. Right now, you are standing at that silent door. Right now, you are being measured not by the noise around you, but by your awareness within you. The universe is watching. Not to punish. Not to condemn. But to record. To see who was awake in this silence. To see who stepped into alignment when no proof was given. These 2 days are a cosmic audit. Every choice you make, every yes you whisper, every no you stand on, echoes far beyond what you can see. And this is the weight of it. When a chosen one locks into destiny, the shift does not stop at their own life. Your choice ripples outward. It alters the vibration of your family. It shifts the pathways of strangers you've never met. It whispers into the future of children not yet born. Communities tilt slightly lighter, simply because you aligned when it mattered most. This is not exaggeration. This is energy. This is how the weave works. October 5th and 6th, 2025 are not just personal turning points. They are generational lock-ins. Think about that. Your decisions in these hours are not fleeting. They are permanent foundations. They settle into the earth like stone. They become the anchor points of an entire lineage. That is why the air feels heavier. That is why you feel the pressure. That is why you may have felt like eyes were on you. Because they were. The universe was watching. Your ancestors were watching. Your future self was watching. Not to scare you. Not to break you. But to crown you. To seal you as ready to carry the torch others could not. And here is the beauty of it all. This is not about survival. This is not about your own comfort or even your own breakthrough. This is about legacy. What you lock in now will ripple long after you are gone. Generations will inherit strength because of the weight you carried. Communities will inherit clarity because of the alignment you chose. Children not yet born will breathe easier because you stabilized the frequency in your lifetime. This is what it means to be chosen. Not that you live without trial, but that your trial becomes the light for those who follow. Generational change never begins in palaces or parliaments. It begins in silence. It begins in a soul that finally whispers, yes. It begins with a decision no one else saw, but everyone else will feel. If you've ever doubted your significance, this is the moment to shed that lie. You were never small. You were never background. You were always woven into the larger tapestry. And October 5th to 6th has pulled that truth to the surface. The lock-in is not glamorous. It will not hand you instant reward. It may not give you recognition or applause. But it does give you something far greater. It gives you permanence. It gives you alignment. It seals you into the frequency of the era that follows. And the most powerful part? You may not even feel it fully yet. You may still wake up tomorrow thinking you're the same person. But deep down, a door has closed behind you. There is no going back. You are locked in. Not just for yourself, but for every soul tied to your name. October 5th and May 6th one day be remembered not for what the world saw, but for what the chosen ones quietly became. This is the dawn of an era, and you are standing at the front of it. The question is no longer if the lock-in happened. It already did. The question is only this: how will you carry it forward? This is your hour. This is your seal. This is your silent crown. The lock-in of October 5th and 6th, 2025 is complete. And nothing will ever be the same again.